Good afternoon. Back in the car again with yet another little episode that happened. So, I had to go to a store to pick up some stuff.
Black spot ahead.
And my city, the beautiful city of Hyderabad, the way it is, narrow roads because of lack of space to widen them. And unfortunately, lack of town planning, streets and roads have become commercialized, and thereby shops have mushroomed all over the place without a thought given to parking space.
Right ahead.
So what do people do who need to go into those shops? They have to find some place in the distance to park and then walk to the store, or take the vehicle onto a pedestrian,
Right ahead.
whereby you'll see half the car outside on the road and half the car on the pedestrian, which is absolutely wrong. One shouldn't block the pedestrian pathway. But what else to do? So anyway, long story short, I get into this shop. I had kept my hazard light on, all the four blinkers on, went inside, and very conscious of the fact that it's a main road, and anytime a cop will come either in a police car or on the bike and either tow my car away or take a picture and give me a ticket, or what we call as a challan. Sure enough, luckily I had my work finished in about 5 minutes. I heard this little siren burst, and I knew our friends had come to do what they thought was very important and needs to be done,
Left ahead.
which is to walk off with your car or give you a ticket. Thereby they can pat themselves on the back and say we've done our job. However, not criticizing them, they're doing what they're told to do, they're following orders. But what happened was very interesting. So I walked out, and the cop was still on the bike. And I asked him, I said, "Sir, good afternoon." First of all, he was surprised I wished him. And I said, "Aapne picture le liya? Did you take a picture?" So he's looking at me and said, "Why do you ask that?" I said, "Well, I'm parking in, as per you, a no parking area, even though there's no board. And my hazard lights are on, which tells you that I'm not going to be parking here permanently. Since you are told to take pictures of anyone who parks like this, so I'm just asking if you've taken a picture, because then you'll be hauled up." So he said, No, sir, it's nothing like that. Just that, a VIP movement is going to take place here, so we've been told to clear this area. So if you're moving now, so please go ahead. They don't need for us to take a picture. I said, "That's very kind of you. That's very, very kind of you." But the thing is that he smiled, I smiled back. We had this little conversation, and everything was fine. He didn't take a picture. There was no argument. He went on to his journey, and I took off from there. So the point what I'm trying to make here is this: we approach the law, people who uphold the law, what we call as the police or the cops. We look at them with a rather critical and an aggressive attitude. I can empathize with that, because a lot of us have had some pretty bad experiences with them. But unfortunately, we as citizens don't give them that due respect and that due diligence from our side in terms of our own thought process. Look, they are under tremendous pressure. Now, I'm saying this because by virtue of me being a facilitator and a coach, I have had interactions with these people. I have seen the other side of their life. They really are stretched from every angle possible, physically, mentally, emotionally. Unfortunately, because of a few people amongst their own colleagues, they've created a sad and bad name for themselves. But in reality, it's not true. A lot of them are really good and nice people. Just that we come to them and come across with these, notions that they are bad and we should come to them with aggression so that they don't pile on to us. No. You talk to them nicely, you approach them with respect, with the respect for law, they actually respond nicely to you. Okay, no, I'm just not talking about cops. I'm talking about the health services. I'm talking about the fire services and all those other people who are sweating it out, be it summer, be it winter, be it monsoon, whatever it is. They are outside roughing it out. God knows whether they've had sleep. God knows if they've eaten their meal. None of us think of all this. We need to think of all this and be empathetic towards them. It's only then will you be able to create a bridge between ourselves and those people who unfortunately have got a sad name for themselves as being very unruly and rough with the common people. So what I'm saying is, instead of waiting for them to be nice and respectful, what if we were to turn it around and be nice, polite and respectful at the very onset and then see how they behave? Now I'm again talking from experience. I've done this many times, not just in this city but in many cities, where I've had a very nice chat with the police, the traffic and otherwise, and it has been a very, very nice experience for me. Why? Because I followed one rule: respect them, look for the good in them, and put your point across nicely with facts, and then wait for them to give you a kind of a solution. If they are not able to, then you can put yours forward, but put it forward nicely, with respect and politely. You'll be surprised at the result you get. But the thing is, will you do it that way, or are you going to be your aggressive self? And that's for you to think. Give it a thought next time you're on the road and you are facing something like this with the cops. But first of all, before I close, please don't do the wrong thing. Don't do the wrong thing yourself. Don't do this wrong side driving. Don't do this crazy thing of not showing your indicator and turning. Don't do this thing of driving in the middle of a lane instead of being in one lane. So let's be honest, man. We are the biggest culprits because we do not adhere to the law. Whether we want to break it to show the bravado that you have in you, or you actually don't know it. Both are not really nice. So if you don't want a backlash, why don't you be on the right side of the road? Give it a thought. You'll see things will be much smoother. Have a great day.